Yeah. I can't tell if this is public or not. Is it public?
Yeah, it says live.
It says live. This is Rylan. This is my son. Thank you. Bye bye. I can't tell. Hey, Roberto. Sorry. I'm just waiting on some more people to come in. While you waiting, you can leave an emoji. Let me know how you feeling today. Reflect, restore, renew is all about love, positivity, motivation, healing, connecting. It's time for our community to connect. We need progress. We need to heal so we can move forward. Although I look all happy and stuff, I'm always happy. Always smiling. Trying to spread some positivity. I got a message today though. Y'all hear my lame music in the background. How you feeling? How you doing? You hear this lame music in the background? I don't want nobody taking my video down. I'm so not used to going live. I have recorded a whole video today and I did not do the video. I didn't post it. I felt more compelled to go live. The video came off a little weird to me. Probably didn't to anybody else. But I filmed it while I was like waiting for one of my appointments at University of Chicago. And I just didn't like the way it turned out really. It felt, I don't know, I felt more compelled to do it this way and talk personally. It was a real personal message. So, and I wanted to get other people involved because I wanted to know how other people got through this. And a lot of times when I do the videos, I can't interact or talk to anybody. There's nobody leaving me messages or nothing. No high fives. No confirmations. And I think this one, a lot of people been kind of going through it. So today, I'm talking about depression. If you didn't get that from the little notes in the top or under the video, I wanted to talk about this because it really stemmed from something my aunt sent me. My aunt sent me a video in my inbox, and it was a video about Viola Davis. If you don't know who Viola Davis is, that is the main character for How to Get Away with Murder. And in her video, she talked about her come up, like where she came from and all of that. She had a rough childhood, and at one point she talked about how she prayed for God to take her away. She just laid in the bed and prayed, God, please take me away. But look at who she is now, and look at what she does now. And this was like one of her award speeches, and it really touched me because I've been through a lot. And if you know me, you know that I've been through a lot. I've had some rough times, to say the least. The one that most people know about is the cancer. A lot of people know about the breast cancer. That was a rough point in my life. And during that time, I experienced that same moment that she talked about, and it really touched me real deep because that is a rough place to be in, to be that low and to pray, yell, scream, pray, and just want God to really take you away. Like you don't want to do this no more. That's a tough, tough place to be in. And I think even with the times that we're in, depression is really high. Suicide is really high. It's just a tough time. And depression is tough. And people will tell you that depression is not real. Anxiety is not real. You just need to figure out how to get over it. Or you broke. Or, you're just heartbroken and you let stuff get to you too deep. But everybody not the same, and everybody don't handle the same pressure the same. Somebody else might kill themselves or hurt themselves over something. You'll be like, that's peanuts. That ain't nothing compared to what I'm going through. Everybody don't have the same strength as you, and everybody can't see the end. And I think one of the things that helped me the most during that time was finding a purpose. I think during those times, I really did not know my purpose in this life. And it felt like I was on the hamster wheel. And I literally said that to my cousin and my friend. And I said this in a video before, that I felt like I was on this hamster wheel of life. And it was like these ups and downs. And no matter what I did, I was still ending up back in the same place. Just running a hamster wheel, like seriously, a roller coaster. One minute I'm up, next minute I'm down. I take 2 steps forward, I take 2 steps back. It's a rough place to be in. I don't know if anybody out here that's watching or will be watching has went through that. If you have, you can give me a little wave or hello or high five if you feel comfortable. If not, it's cool. You know, um, it's tough to be in those places. It's rough to share those things with somebody. And a lot of people that I am close to, I mean, close to, did not know that my head was even in that space. Because I'm one of those people that say I'm always good. No matter what, I'm always good. There's only certain people who will know when I'm not. And that's because they can read me. They know when my spirit ain't right, when I'm not shining right. And there's people in your life that's like that. But it's other people who will attack that. And that's one of the rough things about depression and anxiety. And that's point number 1 I want to make. The people you surround yourself with can make depression and anxiety and all those feelings a lot worse than they were before. They can talk to you out the side of their neck, as I like to say, or talk down to you, tell you when you ain't nothing, tell you ain't gonna be nothing, or I know my family has been good for calling somebody fat and making them feel fat when you already feeling bad about yourself. It's just something that I think is toxic that we pass down through our generations of being a person to tell you that you fat, or you need to work on this, or you need to stop eating that, or it's something about your life you need to change, and it's not in a constructive way. It's very important that we are around people who are constructive, who show us love in the toughest times of our life, who have our back. I mean, if they don't do nothing but sit on the other side of the couch, you always need somebody who's really there to support you and love you despite everything. Despite everything, there is someone in your corner that you could call at 2 a.m. and they're going to get up for you because it's an emergency. They're going to answer for you because it's an emergency. When you don't have those people in your life, that makes your life a lot rougher and difficult to deal with. And when you surround yourself with people who are destructive to you, they are not positive, they're not helping you move forward, they're not growing you, praying for you, those things are hard. You need those type of people in your life. It's also the things we've gone through in the past. Our depression and anxiety can be difficult from the things we have gone through. Those hard moments. I mean, some people go through molestation. They go through abusive relationships. They go through, feeling bad about yourself. I know for a while I felt really horrible about myself. Hey, Bianca. Um, and it was hard for me to pick myself up. So, can you imagine not wanting to really live in the first place because you feel like things are bad, and then you get sick with something that is detrimental, like life? This is why I don't do lives. You get sick with something that is threatening your life, and you are already in a point where you don't really feel like life is dealing you the best cards, and now you have to try and fight for a life that you really don't even want. Like, that is a tough place to be in. Or, there's so many situations where we feel really, really low. We go through these relationships with people that make us feel really low, and we feel so bad, and we have to figure out how to pick ourselves up despite all. And these days, there are people locked in their houses with people who abuse them. There's children at home with abusive parents all day. There are women at home with abusive husbands all day. There are people living at home alone by themselves, scared to come out because of coronavirus. They also depressed and got anxiety. That's like being in seclusion. There are studies about people who go into seclusion like that where they go crazy. It makes you crazy. And now we have to deal with all that on top of everything else. Like, depression is a big deal. Anxiety is a big deal. Don't let anybody make you believe that it's not. That it's just something that you could just up and get over. And you'll also have people who tell you, and I know I'm skipping all over the place, y'all. I'm sorry. This is why I didn't post the video. Because I was really skipping all over the place. You'll have people who tell you that if you're depressed and you're anxious, that you don't believe in God. And that's one of the toughest things for me, because I've seen that come across my timeline a lot lately. That if you're going through hard times, if you're depressed, if you're sick, all these things, that you're not living your life right, and you're not in the spirit, you're not filled with the Holy Spirit, and you're not spiritual. You have no spiritual backing. Like, all of these things. And do you know what it feels like for somebody who is already depressed and sad and alone and whatever, to see something like that? To feel like God is leaving you out too. Like, he don't love you either. Don't know that nobody needs that. Nobody. It's not helpful. It's not constructive. You shouldn't tell people that. If you go through the Bible, there's a story about Elijah. Elijah sits in the wilderness after he's running for his life, and he's tired. He's been living for God. He's been doing everything for God that he's supposed to do. But he's getting attacked because of that. And Elijah literally prays to God for him to take him away. If I'm wrong, say it in the comments. This is a Bible story. So how do you sit up and tell somebody that they not filled with God, and God, it's not in them? They don't have no real spirituality because they depressed and anxious. It's stuff people go through that you can't tell them stuff like that. God loves you no matter what. No matter what. It's all up to you to turn around. Forgive yourself. Open your arms to him and come to him and hear him. Love on him. Do what you're supposed to do. Have faith. All those things. That's where that comes from. Don't tell people that they don't love God, that they not of God and stuff like that because they depressed and anxious. These are really tough times. We still humans. We are still humans. And nobody has all the answers. So if you want to do something for somebody that's depressed, anxious, and feeling sad and lonely and low, Send them some love, some hugs, some positive words. That's what my group is about. Reflect, restore, and renew. We want to reflect on the issues that we have. We want to God to renew that spirit and whatever your spirituality is. We want to be restored. Those are the things that I focus on. And that's coming together as a community. And as a community, I want to be able to help somebody else. And you should too. Love on somebody. Help them through their hard times. Help them. And if you're having a tough time, realize that you can change where you are. You are not stuck. And nobody says you have to be there. There are so many people who be stuck in relationships they don't want. Not receiving the love that they need at all. They stuck in jobs they don't want. Live in places they don't want to live. These things are up to you. It's up to you to change it. You to put in the effort, the thought process, put in the work. Faith without works is dead. You have to do this stuff in order to move forward, to heal, to get to this other place in life that you want to be. Nothing keeps you bound and staying there. Nothing does. You have to get you together. So get into your spirituality. That'll help you out of your places, your deep, dark, low places. Surround yourself around people who love you, who care for you, who encourage you. Do things that make you happy. Man, I realized in quarantine that taking a walk can change everything for me. Just taking a walk. I mean, being in the trees and being able to talk openly to God, just the smell of outside, period. It is helpful. Nature is nurturing, is what I'm trying to say. If anybody out here goes through depression and anxiety, or even your low times, because right now a whole lot of people are low, put in the comments some ways that you get through. Help somebody else get through. I even have to do this stuff for my kids, because these kids are sad and anxious and everything else in the house as well. You know, walking around with masks on and all this stuff. That stuff makes people feel contained. And if you're a person who deals with anxiety, like cutting borders off and all that stuff, when they was rioting and they cut the borders off, my daughter had a whole panic attack just because she felt trapped. You know, I make my son do art therapy to some extent. He makes all these pictures. I got one. So hold on. Like my son drew this. I'm trying to let y'all see it. This is something he did. That's something he did when he was upset, and he was going through a little angry moment. So I had him sit down and draw in color, and he did that. He drew that, and that helped him. And that actually, I got that from me doing that while I was going through cancer. I was sitting my treatments, my chemo treatments, and I had a coloring book, an adult coloring book, and that would help me get through. Um, so you have to find techniques to get through. But I really want to get back to the topic at hand, because I was supposed to be more transparent, and that's why I did this way. Being live, you know, people will feel alone when they're going through depression and anxiety, and that's because other people don't let you know that they're going through too, don't give you any techniques, make you feel like you crazy and you the only person who goes through that, when in actual reality you'll have your mother, your aunt, your uncle, your great grandmother. Those people dealt with depression too. And I know in the African American community, Ain't no one to no therapist. Like, they don't believe in that, and it's hard for you to do.
I have something to show you.
Okay, you're gonna wait because okay, wait after. And I know it was real hard for me to go to therapy because that's how community is. It's not really a thing that you're supposed to go to therapy. Something wrong with you. You crazy. Don't take no medicine. Don't do none of this. But you have to figure out ways to get yourself together. So before I ever went through cancer, like before I ever knew I had cancer at all, I was already depressed from the way that my life was going. You know, I wasn't in a job that I liked. I wasn't living someplace where I wanted to live. I wasn't very happy. I was having a tough time in my relationship and my relationship with community. Um, it was just a lot going on at one time. And before I ever found out I had cancer, I had a liver tumor. This liver tumor came from birth control, and it made me really sick. It was benign. It was not cancerous, but it was making me really sick. And truthfully, it was like destroying my body. So I had to get it removed. That liver surgery was the worst surgery I've ever had in my life. I have a scar from here, my sternum, down to my belly button. And if you've never had abdominal surgery, them cutting through your ribs and your muscles, your abdominal muscles, spreading them and putting them back, and they literally cut off a piece of my liver. Like, the liver regenerates, so they just chopped off a piece, and it had to grow back. That was the worst pain I had ever been in my life, and I was feeling like every time I got myself together, I was getting pushed backwards because, okay, so I finally got me a good job, but then now I got to have liver surgery 2 months into me starting this job. Um, Now I don't have an income anymore, and I have 3 kids, and I have all these issues. And now, okay, now I get back to work. No, I'm sorry, I'm skipping. So I have this surgery, and as I have the surgery, I'm in there, and as I'm leaving, my aunt is going into the hospital. And 2 weeks after I have surgery, and that surgery is, I'm healing from that surgery, and I'm telling you, this is the worst pain I've ever been in. I literally was buckled over in pain and popping pills like no other. 2 weeks after that surgery, my aunt passed away, and I was really close to my aunt, and it was really rough. I'm sorry, y'all. Her birthday was a couple days ago too. I'm sorry. It was really tough for me because I was at her funeral and I could barely stand up. I couldn't help my cousins the way I wanted to. I couldn't be there to support my family the way I wanted to. And I was really, really close to her. So it hurt, that was a really tough time for me. So I had already felt low at that point. I love you too, Margaret. I had felt really low at that point. And when I finally got back to work, okay, so let me give you a timeline. I had surgery November like 17th, I think, of 2017. I went back to work 6 weeks after that. Um, and then I was still in pain and stuff, but I sucked it up because I had bills to pay and I got kids. So, I was back at work, finally got back on my feet, finally got to a place where I can move out on my own because I was staying with my mama because of everything I was going through. And come November 2018, I found a lump. And that turns out to be cancer. So December 2018. So from November 2017 to December 2018, liver tumor, liver surgery, and then breast cancer. And I lost my aunt in between that. And it was really tough financially. So, and when I found out I had cancer, I was in a brand new relationship. Like, we were together for 4 months. So we had to try and ride that out too. And he was really good about it because I gave him all kinds of outs and he wouldn't go. But anyway, I was super depressed and trying to manage my life and then help other people. And I was volunteering we had a majorette team. I was doing all kind of stuff. I was stretched really thin, and I was super depressed. And I don't know if anybody actually knew that. I know that my friends and family, like people real close to me, knew, but I don't think anybody knew I was depressed to the point where I was like contemplating killing myself. Like when I was going through treatment, I contemplated killing myself to the point where I was really looking up whether my family would get life insurance or not if I killed myself. And I was writing letters like of who should take care of my kids, and nobody. I don't think anybody knew that. I don't even think my therapist knew that because I was going through therapy. But it's difficult to go through therapy when you're going through treatment because I had a treatment that really had me so off, and they would stack my therapy on top of my treatment. So when I had treatment, because I couldn't drive after this particular treatment, it was really hard because I was out of it and very dizzy and very nauseous. So I would go to therapy and I couldn't pay attention and I'm falling asleep like I'm a crackhead basically. So I stopped doing therapy. Like I was in a really terrible place. And my point in telling you and being this transparent is that I can guarantee to you that most of the people around me did not know that I was that depressed. And there is somebody, they could be on this live right now or watching it later, or they could be sitting next to you that is that depressed and smiling in your face every day. Robin Williams did it all the time. He's one of the funniest, happiest people that anybody knew when he killed himself. I'm not telling you this because you need to be cautious about everybody, but love on some people. Give some people some encouraging words. Motivate somebody to live another day. I've experienced depression throughout my life. And I remember one time I was in church and pastor went in and said, "You shall live and not die." That is something I say to people all the time. And I just say it, period. Because you never know. You shall live and not die. That is for somebody. You have purpose here. You have a reason to live. You have a reason to be here. There is somebody counting on you to live another day, to tell them good morning, to hold their hand, to sit on their couch, to make them breakfast, to go to brunch. I don't know what your purpose is for somebody else. I don't know what your purpose is in this life. But I know when God started to reveal to me my purpose, that's the only time where I was not depressed. Not very, very low. And I had a reason to live. I mean, my kids was the only reason why I was here in the first place. They were the only reason. And that I did not want to see the people that loved me suffer. Because I had a friend that committed suicide when I was a child. And that was very, very tough for me. And I would never want anybody to hurt like that. So I wouldn't do that. And I definitely wouldn't leave my babies here. I just wouldn't. That's not a choice I would make for somebody else to raise my kids. And them to have that type of trauma. But the ultimate purpose. But I was living and I was not living. I was here and I was hurting. I was hurting, I was low, and I was wishing for a car accident for the treatment to not work, for something to take me out of here. And wait. I'm sorry, y'all. My baby is not trying to wait. But I lost my train of thought. I lost it. But I can't get back to what thought process I had. But my point is that, you know, life can be tough for people. I'm just using myself as an example because I'm a living example of what depression looks like, what anxiety looks like. I have all types of anxiety. I have all types of depression often. I know what I was going to say. The reason why I decided to really go live, like, the video didn't come out like I wanted it to. It wasn't resonating like I wanted it to. It was all over the place because this was personal. And then I also was very going through it. I was going through it this week. I got a lot of stuff going on personally. And if you a parent with a kid who is homeschooling, remote learning, I'm praying for you. All my aunties and uncles and cousins, best friends, whoever. I'm praying for us all because it is tough. We love our kids, but it is something else to be trying to teach them and be in the house all day. And if you working on top of that, oh Lord, I'm praying for us all. But it was a really tough week to the point where I had to really take off work. Like, it was tough. And I even went MIA for like 2 days. I posted in my group every day since I started it. And I really went MIA for 2 days because I had to take a step back and regroup because it was like chaos. And sometimes it's like that. You gotta take a step back. But see, I had started isolating myself at one point. I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't answering my phones. I wasn't going nowhere. It's a lot of stuff that I get into later about my cancer treatment on some different lives. But the point of this live is to really tell you about how depression really works. I wish somebody would attest. One of my friends or family or somebody that's really watching, tell them how happy I usually am. Did you know I was that depressed? That's what I really want to know. Did anybody know? You gotta love on people, whether you know it or not. One thing I did learn about this whole coronavirus thing is the people who are home, who have no children, who have no husband, no girlfriend, no wife, no nothing, that are sitting at home by themselves, y'all need to check on them. Now, I'm not very good at communicating, but I try to check on my people. I really do. It may not be as often as they need, but I really try. But I've learned that they're having a difficult time because if you think about it, we were quarantined. If you're quarantined by yourself, that's craziness. There's only so much TV you can watch, so many movies, and so many FaceTimes or whatever that is going to suffice for that. Charles, I was very depressed. I was really wishing for something to take me out of here. I'm not even gonna lie about it. My life has been hard. It ain't as hard as some people. It's not, but it's been difficult for me. So, yeah. I was wishing and hoping. I'm not in that place anymore though. I have the way that I bought myself out was therapy, spirituality. I had someone who really, really loved me. That loved me despite all. It was in my corner. I had people I could release to, people who encouraged me, who motivated me. I had those people around me despite everything else. And I have people who, if I don't answer the phone, they popping up. Okay? It's only so long that I cannot answer the phone. They gonna pop up. And I also have my babies. My babies don't play them games. They see me sad, they coming in and they doing a whole clown show. So, get in your word, get in your spirituality, get into you. Uh, do the things that make you happy and make you healthy. Journal. Please talk to somebody because therapy is helpful. Just to sit on somebody's couch and them validate your feelings or whatever is super helpful. Okay? Um, go out with your friends or invite them over. Let them come sit on the couch even if you're doing nothing. Watch a funny movie. Watch a comedy show. Do something that makes you smile, laugh, and be happy. And there's a few things that I've said to myself. Everybody has mantras. They have affirmations. They have things that they do on a daily basis. I meditate. I definitely meditate to go to sleep because I have a really hard time going to sleep. I even make my kids do that. I pray hard. I go in my closet when it's real bad and get on them knees. Put stuff on the altar and let it go. I've learned to have incredible faith, undeniable, unshakable faith. Okay? I'm down to my last $2. I know God got it coming, and tomorrow I have 100. Because He didn't show me that. I didn't have that. I was going through cancer treatment. I went through 9 months of cancer treatment with zero income. None. And there's some of y'all that's watching right now that I can say thank you to. Because you definitely put money in my account when it was down to the last dollar. I'm going to read this out loud real quick in between what I was saying. I'm posing that question in my next sermon. What do you do when you would rather die than live like this? What do you do when you would rather die than live like this? You have two choices. You have the choice to lay down. No, I'm sorry, you have three, because I have definitely seen three choices. You have the choice to lay down and let life happen to you. You don't move, you don't do nothing, your bills don't get paid, you lose your job, depression becomes overall taken over. You usually gonna drink, do drugs, or kill yourself. That's just basically the way that goes. You're going to lay down. I said two different things. Not kill yourself. You're going to allow life to kill you because you'll eventually die from those things. Some type of way, something's going to take you away. One of those things, whether it's the drugs, the alcohol, it could be a slow death because you could be drinking for 20 years and then all of a sudden you die from a heart attack or something like that. You can kill yourself for real. You know, because let me roll back. The let life happen to you, people do that all the time. You just float through life and you don't have no direction. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're doing. You letting stuff happen. You trying to handle things one by one. You picking it up, putting it down, or you drinking yourself. You drinking yourself to sleep. You doing drugs, you smoking weed, you taking pills, you doing all this stuff. That is surviving a life that you don't really want. When you're doing all of those things, you are not living your life. You're covering up some damage, some hurt, some pain, all of that, because you're never sober enough to really deal with life. You're never conscious enough to really deal with life. You're not stopping. You're not living in the moment. You're not here. You're just coasting, letting life happen. Letting other people make choices for you and how your life goes, letting drugs take the choices, whatever. The other choice is to actually die. Suicide. Take yourself up out of here. The last choice, which should be the first, is for you to find purpose in life. I believe that it is all in line with spirituality. That is how you deal with the life you don't want. You use that and it changes. It changes because as you develop purpose and you develop things that you want and you learn yourself and you learn your path. I said this before. A person who has no path can end up anywhere. My auntie used to tell me this all the time. She told it to the kids that she mentored and all of that. You have no path, you can end up anywhere. So once you develop that path, that gives you purpose. That gives you a reason to live, a reason to continue. That's how you really live. It changes. You take the reins. You and God. If it ain't nobody but me and God. I said that so many times. I can't tell you how many times I said that. If it ain't nobody but me and God, we got this. We got it. Because he going to direct me. He going to show me where I need to go. We going to do this thing. But I couldn't have did that before. When I was laying down and I was just letting life happen and I didn't know what to do or where to go. I couldn't have did that before. I didn't even see that option before. I didn't see no power in my hands at all. I didn't see no power within myself, but God is in me. He pushes me. He directs me. He gives me conviction. I get faith in his word. Faith come by hearing and hearing by the word of God. I believe that's what it is. So yes, Charles, there's 3 ways to approach a life. Yes, less of me and more of him. Charles said you became nothing and allowed God to be everything. Less of me and more of him. This is what I've been walking on. This is what I've been rolling on. And, I've seen something that says spirituality is, or I'm sorry, not spirituality, religion is somebody else's experience. This is my experience. I've seen God show up in my life. I don't know what your experience is. This is my experience. I've seen God physically show. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen the presence. And I can't tell you how I'm here no other way but God. Because, baby, when I say how low I was, seriously, I wish my cousin was on here so she could tell you. She was scared for me. Because that's like my sister. So she knew everything. She was scared for me. She pushed me to go get therapy. She told me she was going to take me if I didn't go. You need them type of people in your life. Those are the type of people you got to have in your life. When I couldn't get up and clean, I had a cousin in Georgia send somebody to clean. You need those types of people in your life. You got to know the steps and the tools and the things that you need to do in order to live the life you want to live. It is possible. People will make you think that the life you want to live is unattainable. I'm not where I want to be at all, not by far. But I guarantee you I'm going to get there. 100% I'm going to get there. It's going to happen. I got faith in it. I know it. Because now I have purpose. Now I have a reason to live. And I'm telling you, this is possible for you. People talk about getting it out the mud. Me and my cousins used to be in the house, 6 to a bed, just because we wanted to. My granny had a huge house. But all of us was in the house together, sleeping, eating together. I don't know how my granny fed all us. Our parents was around. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me let you think that my parents wasn't around. That none of our parents was around. They was around. But was our life like Peach King? No. Not by far. But we here. My family full of doctors, lawyers, teachers, musicians, entrepreneurs, artists. I mean, you name it, I probably got one of them in my family. But do I come from the family that it should be like that? No. Be super educated. We are blessed and we have favor. We got pharmacists in my family. We got all kind of stuff. And we didn't came up. I'm telling you, you stay on the path, you keep to it, you stay strong, you keep fighting through it. We all have valleys. We got our hills, we got our valleys. We have our ups, we have our downs. But all you have to do is waver through them downs and keep your faith. Stay strong, stay resilient. I guarantee you, when you get up, it's gonna be a up. Because through everything bad, you're still blessed. I guarantee you that. God always covers you. You always covered. Always. You're always loved. God is the King of Kings. He is Yahweh, the Lord of Lords, the Most High. There's no one higher than Him. Nobody greater. He wants to prosper you, give you hope in the future. He loves you. Everything I just said is in the Bible. He can do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. You don't know how many times that scripture has gotten me through. Again, you shall live and not die. You will be successful. You can get over all that hurt and pain. Take it out the box. Stop hiding it. Stop being ashamed of it. Stop torturing yourself. Forgive you. Stand up. Stay strong. You can do it. You can have the life you want to live. You can have the love you want. You can have the job you want. You can have the house you want. Whatever you dreamed of, it can be yours. Fight for it. I love y'all. I think I kept y'all names, and I know I was all over the place. I'm sorry. But I hope that I helped at least one person or gave somebody a little encouragement to go forward. Please join the group Reflect, Restore, and Renew. Come get a little piece of love, a little piece of motivation, positivity, or pass some on. I'm going to post but we're going to do a burden walk. This burden walk is going to be a mile, 2 miles, 3, however many you want to really walk. But what you're going to do is you're going to put some rocks in the bag, boulders, whatever you want to put in this bag that's kind of heavy. This is going to represent the things that hurt you, that make you cry, that make you lose sleep, that sits in the back of your mind and bother you. That's what this walk is for. It's so we can release that. We're going to start with a bag full of rocks. But at the end, we're going to place them burdens down. And we're going to walk back free and light as a feather. I also want to I'm going to do like a fundraiser, but it's not going to really be a fundraiser. I want to give some things away to the homeless. My son actually came up with this idea. So we're going to do that as well. So join the group, Reflect, Restore, and Renew. If you need me or you need to talk, I'm always here. I'm not judgmental. I'm open-minded, and my heart is full of love, and I will give you that love freely. Free hugs, free love. Church hug to you too, Charles. So I'll see y'all next Freedom Friday. Love y'all.